I feel like this is the end of the simps, right? I feel like this will help traditional women come back. Masculinity will be secured again if this movement blows up. What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's ASMR sip is 1907water.com. Keep on code Russo. ASMR Spritz Intelligent Elephant Hydrogen. This isn't out yet, but you can hear the spritzes. All right, today is a weird black pill topic. Black pill meaning completely based. Today I'm going to be discussing female birth control's impact on mating selection and how the current movement to quit female birth control from all the ladies around the world will impact mating selection. AKA Andrew, it's the death of the simps. The simps are doomed. They were relying on these synthetic pills to jack up their estrogen so much and their progesterone so much that the simps won the battle for now, leaving all us regular dudes not wanting to. I'm not saying you gotta like suck up to a girl or there shouldn't be leeway or any of that like crazy shit. I'm just saying I shouldn't have to do this, take care of you, this, like right off the bat and project myself as a simp when that's not me. And I don't think like if I had a daughter, would I want my daughter to be dating a fucking simp? No, but there's a reason for this. Why were women going that way and, redoing the mating selection and creating this two hierarchy system, in my opinion, of you have all these alpha dudes who go around racking up body counts, don't give a shit, and then you have all the simps holding the long-term relationships. And it's like, if it was normal, I feel like women would go back to building a man. They wouldn't feel like comforted by the simp-like behavior. They would start doing their job and spelling them out of being a simp. And then everyone would be out and then it would be back to normal. Again, just my weird tinfoil hat going off. But I did want to react to this short I found on Instagram.
There's literally been studies where they've tracked who women are attracted to on and off birth control. It's completely different. And then when you get off birth control, you're not even attracted to the dude you're with because what you were looking for when you were on birth control, when you're on birth control, it adjusts your hormones so that you're looking for someone who's sweet and kind and who can take care of you like that because your body thinks it's pregnant. So it's just looking for comfort. Then you get off birth control and you're like, what kind of wimp ass man am I married to? Because what you really wanted was an alpha male. But your hormones were so messed up you didn't even know what you wanted to be with.
Okay, yeah. So I'm glad this is getting out there in the women's sphere of quitting birth control, because the minute their testosterone goes back to normal, and women make testosterone not nearly as much as a male, but the minute their testosterone goes back to normal, they're realizing subconsciously their primal instincts go off and they're like, oh, this man's not protective. Oh, I want a normal cold male that I spell to and keep him grounded. Oh, like I don't want to simp no more. Like I don't understand. I don't feel like overall this alpha frequency around me. I'm not being put in my divine feminine frequency by this simpy piece of shit that, again, I was comfortable with because my progesterone and estrogen were through the roof. I just needed, someone to have attention somewhere. Like my ego's destroyed and I'm all high up here on estrogen. Like I've done clomiphene at ridiculous doses, 100 meg a day. Like I've experienced kind of what it's like to have estrogen jacked up through the roof, and to live like that as a young developing girl from ages 14 to 20. That's going to recalibrate the type of mate I choose based on, not really having that ego, not really having that backing, not really going for, a stout male, which leaves, again, the two hierarchy system of the simps rolling the dating thing, and then the girl gets bored, cheats. There's no more old schoolness of a girl spelling and turning a simp into an alpha, right? That's the whole point. That's the dynamic relationship, is shoving her in the divine feminine, she's shoving you in the divine masculine, the yin and the yang. That's how you make a fucking long-term relationship in my mind. Don't kill the messenger. But I I do see there's a big movement, and I feel like this is the end of the simps, right? I feel like this will help traditional women come back. Masculinity will be secured again if this movement blows up. That's why I'm making this video, so you guys spread to your girlfriends, and your girlfriends spread to their friends that these pills, it's psychological torture. You're picking someone, in my opinion, that doesn't have the genes you would truly want to produce if your hormones were natural. It's what I think. And I feel like, you know, with the feminism movement and all that, the feminists won. Congratulations, you won. We've been waving the white flag. I'm not here to say that the feminists didn't win. I'm saying that a lot of feminists, and Andrew, sometimes I would have fun. Like, I would like flirt with a feminist, and, you know, like, they're putting off this masculine energy, and it's just nothing compared to a male. Like a style male that knows his energy is always going to trump a woman pretending. And those sort of relationships fall apart, and it can be rooted back to this birth control. You know, they've layered this birth control in here, and I wanted to feature this NBC News article that just popped up.
In a post-Roe world, contraceptives like birth control are taking center stage.
I'm officially off my hormonal birth control.
But online, a chorus of voices are taking to platforms like TikTok to talk about why the pill might not be for them, even if they don't want to get pregnant.
A few quick updates for you.
25-year-old Erica Hong says she first got on the pill at 16 as a way to not only prevent pregnancy, but also manage what's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, presenting in symptoms like acne and irregular menstruation.
And it really, truly helped me with a lot of my symptoms, but then I experienced new side effects.
Side effects like mood swings, weight gain, and even hair loss.
In a nutshell, that repeated over and over again for about 5 different pills over a span of almost 10 years.
Her experience with birth control is unfortunately not uncommon, according to doctors. What are some of the common side effects that you see with people who take birth control?
So when we look at side effects from starting a particular type of contraception, that can be anywhere from nausea, headaches, or even some weight gain. There are some people that note some hair changes, whether that's hair loss or sparseness in hair.
I think I'm getting hair loss.
For Ali Vaccaro, hormonal changes like hair loss came after she got off the pill.
It scared me at first. I did not even know that was a side effect.
So many women go to their doctors and often don't find answers.
Dr. Aviva Ram is the author of Hormone Intelligence. She says while access to contraceptives is incredibly important, research around side effects is limited.
We have essentially women taking very similar birth control right now to what their mothers or grandmothers took. Women in the US typically go through about 3 different forms of birth control before finally just kind of settling on one that is the most tolerable.
And there have only been a few studies around birth control for men. Concerns and complaints about side effects have stopped many of the studies. Meanwhile, a panel of FDA advisors just voted unanimously to recommend an over-the-counter birth control pill. The final decision is expected this summer.
We still have to look at the day and age that we're in and the access and allowing women to make the choices for themselves. There should be a comprehensive view on if someone wants to come off birth control. You really need an active plan.
I wanted to give you a little update.
After documenting her experience with birth control online, Erica says she received an outpouring of responses from others who could relate.
It makes me happy, and in a way, it makes me sad that so many women relate to my story.
Maya Eaglin, NBC News.
Maya, thanks so much. Well, let's bring in OBGYN and Chief Medical Officer at Berry.
I feel like black pill, I wanted to make a black pill video for you guys, that this will restore masculinity. If more and more women get off this pill, track their period, and I get it. Contraceptives, especially with women, absolutely needed. Don't ban contraceptives. I'm just saying, if you were informed psychologically of the impact of what you're doing by raising estrogen and progesterone and plummeting your testosterone as a female, if you had the sort of implication of what type of dice roll you're going to do with that at 16, it might ploy you to use birth control maybe for a limited amount of time. It might ploy you to not use it at all, track your period, have natural hormones, be more in your divine feminine, not like constantly seeking your, like, that's what your psychology will move towards when you jack it up. You could think of like, oh well, my mating selection might be skewed, I might not have the gusto to go after the male I truly want. All these sorts of things that will be impacted through the first 5 relationships that this woman goes through is on birth control. She gets off it in her mid-20s like that woman did. The next date is a completely different type of relationship in my mind, like with the psychology being different, with the I'm not stuck in this like pre-pregnancy state that keeps me infertile. fertile, I'm completely in my natural hormone balance, I guarantee that relationship would feel way different than the ones on tons of birth control. Obviously, certain individuals are going to tolerate birth control better than others, but I think overall, to restore masculinity, I do think it's in the traditional women's ballpark. Feminism won. That means battle's over with the women. The traditional women got to come back and clean up shop. Traditional women come back by getting off that pill, remembering, their true job, which is to spell a male into success, ground a male, put a male in his divine masculine when he's younger, and then be sheltered by an alpha in your divine feminine and not feel like you're in this bitchy simp relationship because you're on birth control. You're the man of the fucking relationship. I can't tell me how many relationships I see like that, and I'm just like, how's that last? And it could all be related back to these pills that skewed their perception, their psychology throughout their entire life. What are your thoughts? I'll see you guys in my next one.